Hi everybody, my name is Kim, this is the Way Rider Chronicles. Today we're going to talk about history. History is a human state. As a person, who I am is my history. My history being, or any single person's history is what makes them what they are today. Your history goes back to, most people can't remember when they were born. In fact, nobody can remember when they're born. But from when your first memories start, when it was at 3, 4, 5, depending on what type of memories, which are not photographics or not photographs, of when you are going forward to when you first go to school, when you become a teenager, when you first get your job, etc., etc. Go to higher education, go to university, whatever you've done, all that accumulated, all those accumulated experiences make you, or a person, what they are today, what we call today. So in the sense of what I mean when we call today, every single person is at one particular moment in their existence, which is today. That historic is who we are. So we take that as our personal history, expand it out to the next layer or the next bit of history that is personal to you, or personal to the particular individual, and that is the immediate family. And then we take it out further for the friends of the family and who we brought up with. And as we move further out, we arrive at the place we are living in, the people we interact with every day, getting larger and larger until we arrive at the country where we happen to reside. Now, leaving aside the complications of people who move around the world and who were born in one place and grew up in another place and have a father from somewhere else, from one country and a mother from another, etc., etc. Let's take your typical individual, somebody who was born in wherever, Chicago, was born and bred there, lived there. He may have moved somewhere else from a educational point of view, but came back to where he grew up to live and work, etc. So that particular individual belonging to that particular group or tribe, or whatever you want to call it, is has another history which he's learned, which is his country's history. So we've got the whole of his country's history, which he will learn and he will hear from his compatriots, from his contemporaries, from his family, of what his country is about. He will express that in his mother tongue, be that English, Russian, Chinese, French, or whatever. That, because linguistics are very important, they determine what we laugh about and how we perceive other people who don't speak our language properly. All that is a collective thing that makes you French, or British, or English even, forget about British, American, or South African, or wherever, whatever country you've been brought up in. But it also makes that individual, not only is he part of a local group of people, assuming that he lived in one place and stayed there most of his life, there is, so you'll have a district identity, you'll have a wider county, whatever the next subdivision of that particular country or state identity, moving up to his country identity. And this country identity goes back, this collective country identity or national identity goes back hundreds of years and makes us feel part of a tradition of Americanness or Frenchness or Englishness or whatever-ness we are supposed to be. And it will make us react to any possible, or not possible, but any perceived slight to our Englishness or our Frenchness. We'll see that at a friendly level in sporting events, the Soccer World Cup. Everybody support, most people support their national team. Same with the cricket. Everybody will support their national team. Whatever big sporting event takes place, even if we're looking at Formula One, which is the motor racing event, most people will be rooting for their particular country's driver. And you will note, or everybody notes, that on the leaderboard, it's very clear where whoever such and such is driving, whatever such and such a car, is the nationality of that person. So all this is very important, and it's very important for everybody's national down to individual identity. And coming back to those slights, if anything collectively is perceived as a slight, or things are not, or being, there is a perception that another country is out to get us, then what happens? Well, we all know what happens, that it eventually will escalate into war of words to actual war of war. The result of our history, individually, collectively, is who we are. At the same time, that history condemns us to accept that we eventually have to go to war about something, because those other people over there are getting out of line, or they're going to come and take all our money, or they're going to come and steal all our whatever. What the issue here is that history is what we are, but history, if we're not careful, and it happens all the time, our history will kill us. And this is something which is in direct contradiction to what we are as human beings. We all know that there is the past, the present, and the future. But actually that's not true. We are condemned as individuals to live in basically an eternal present. There is no past and there's no future. There is only now. Of course, it's not an eternal now, because one day we'll cark it and that now is over. But essentially there's an eternal now. And we cannot change the past. The past has happened. It's done. And yes, it's very useful to have all our traditions and to make us who we are. But we can change the future. So, as I expanded on in the video about Africa, there are a class of people, strongmen, dictators, people in charge, who steal all the money, which effectively steals that particular class of people's future. There's another class of dictator who, or strongman, or person in power, who doesn't only steal their money or steal their future, it kills them. So it kills their future. So they actually have no future. Something we should all think about when we like to put forward that the only solution is to go and, as an individual, punch somebody in the face, as a nation, shoot them in the face. There has to be, or there is, a better way to manage our future. That's the way Rider Chronicles.